Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my monthly favorites. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Amy. I do videos on fragrance, beauty, self-care, and body care. If you like that type of content, don't forget to subscribe before you leave today's video. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so happy to have you here with me today, and I appreciate all of the support. With that said, let's get into today's video. So I am filming today. This was totally last minute. I am going on a trip in a few days, so I'm trying to get as much filming done for you guys as I can, and I think this is going to be the last one because it's driving me nuts between filming and packing and just leaving everything ready. But I just can't leave without having some videos ready for you guys. So today we're going to be talking about my May favorites. I am going to be talking about fragrance. I'm going to be talking about beauty, skincare. So I am going to be starting off with my favorite fragrances this month, and I do have some really good fragrances here. I used up so many fragrances on my tray, so it was very hard to choose favorites because this month I loved pretty much all of the fragrances that are on my tray, but these are the ones that I kind of used the most. This is going to be a pretty long video, so grab a snack, grab a drink, some coffee. I have my water. By the way, speaking of water, I wasn't planning on doing this today, but I have to talk about them. I am going to be talking about this a little deeper when I come back from my trip, but I just wanted to give them a shout out because they have been so kind to me. I love what they sent me. So I am talking about Liquid IV. They reached out to me because they wanted to send me some of their hydration products. What I loved about them was that they just reached out to me. They said, we would like to send them out to you. You don't have to post anything. You don't have to do anything. But if you do like them, we would appreciate a post or a mention. And that to me was so nice because they just didn't put no pressure on me. And it lets me know that they're very confident in what they are selling. I have been drinking the Piña Colada one non-stop. I'm going to explain it to you guys a little bit better. It's just that I don't want to drag this video out today, but check them out. They did give me a discount code to get 25% off of your order. I'm going to put the code on the screen. It's Amarilis_glam. I'm going to be putting the link in the description box. So that is going to be an affiliate link, and I'm very, very happy to be working with them because I honestly, this is something that I have been every single day. I'm using it every single day. I'm drinking my water with that. It has electrolytes. It has a lot of good things for you. It's kind of like doubling your hydration when you drink one. So I really, really like it. So I'm just going to be leaving that information in the description box. Thank you so much, Liquid IV. I have been loving them so much. So let's just go ahead and let's get into my favorites for May. So I'm going to start off with the fragrances. So the first fragrance I'm going to be talking about is Ralph Lauren's Beyond Romance. So here is the beautiful bottle. As you guys can see, I do have a baby dent in this one. I would say I used this fragrance more than 5 times this month. I actually have it on today because I put it on when I woke up this morning. This fragrance, when I first put it on the tray, I was like, okay, this is a fragrance that I could live without. It's not a big deal. It's a nice fragrance, but I wouldn't classify it as a favorite. But then the more I started wearing it, I started craving it a little bit more. I have been pairing it with Bath & Body Works. I think it's called Raspberry Chiffon, if I'm not mistaken. It was one that was released for fall, so I'm almost done with that body cream. And I'm hoping that they release it again this year because I really love that one for pairing it with my raspberry fragrances, but this is just raspberry. When I did my raspberry video, you guys recommended this one to me, telling me that it was an amazing raspberry fragrance, and it is. It's just very sweet, very candy-like, but it also, when it dries down to a more like warm, really nice, comforting scent. So it doesn't stay candy-like the whole time. I would say that like the first hour or two, you're going to get like that candy, raspberry, very sweet type of vibe. But then as it dries down, it gets a little bit more warm and just, I love it so much. So I use it for bedtime. I use it during the day. This is one of those fragrances that can be used year round, for the day, for nighttime, for whatever you want is going to work, and it just makes you smell so, so good. So my next favorite is a recent addition to my collection from Toka, and this is Simone. And this one I got because it has a watermelon note in it, and I have used this one a few times this month. This is another one that's just easy for hot weather, for summer, for spring. It's very fruity, very fresh, and it's like a refreshing type of fragrance. So yeah, this fragrance just has like a very aquatic, watermelon, fresh, watery type of vibe. It's very easy to wear as well. It's a little bit floral as well. This has freesia, which freesia sometimes I'm not a big fan of, but in some fragrances it totally works. So it just gives it like a very bright, clean, refreshing vibe. I have been really enjoying this one as well, and I have been pairing this one with a watermelon scent that I have from Victoria's Secret. This next one, you guys, oh my god. Sometimes I buy a fragrance and I'm super obsessed with it when I first get it, and then I end up hating it, which sucks. And then sometimes I'll get a fragrance and I think it's nice and I don't think that it's going to become a favorite. I just kind of leave it there, and when I wear it, it ends up being like an all-time favorite. So that happened with this one, and this is from Guerlain, and this is Aqua Allegoria Limon Verde, which I didn't even have any interest in trying this until I heard Tara Michelle here on YouTube, Opinionated Scents. When I heard her talking about it, it made me want to try it, and I'm so happy that I did. Now, I pair this with another Bath & Body Works. I'm going to be doing a layering video for you guys because I have been pairing my perfumes with just the yummiest body creams. But I have been pairing this one with a coconut and lime scent from Bath & Body Works. And when I tell you that it is amazing, I smell so good. I wear it for bedtime. I wear it during the day. It is just the most cooling, refreshing type of fragrance. It's a very realistic lime in here. It's so good. When I smell it from the cap, it's not my favorite because you can smell so much of that lime, and also it kind of gives off like a little bit of like a cucumber vibe, which I'm not really a fan of. But when you spray it all over your body, it just creates like this bubble around you, and then it gets a little bit sweet, but you have that citrus. It's fresh, it's bright. It's one of those fragrances that are just happy. They're sunshine in a bottle. They just boost your mood. It makes you happy, and it just gets you in a good mood. So this one is so, so good, and I'm going to be using this one so much this summer because I just started using it, but we're just getting into the hot weather, the summertime, so I know that I'm going to do a pretty good dent on this one. So yeah, this one is a beautiful, gorgeous scent. Next up, I have been using Mugler's Alien Goddess way more than I thought that I would be using it. So here is the bottle for this one. I have the little baby bottle, but I just mix this with any coconut lotions, anything that smells vanilla, coconut soft like that. This goes perfect with it. So right now, the Bath & Body Works Copper Coconut Sands is the best combination with this perfume, and this is just a vanilla and coconut, very simple. I get a lot of the coconut in here. It's kind of like, it has like this sandy beachy vibe to it as well, so it just reminds me a lot of the beach. I kind of think of the beach with the sun, coconuts, that type of vibe, a little bit of sunscreen but not too much. And I know that this is definitely a compliment getter because this is a crowd pleaser. It's very simple. I know that it's very far away from the Alien DNA, but you guys know that I'm not a fan of Alien, so this one just works out for me better. I honestly think that they could have just made this like a scent on its own and not a flanker to Alien, and it probably would have been accepted a little bit better. But I mean, the bottle's nice and I like the vibes that it gives, so I really like this one. This was my Mother's Day fragrance, and I also wore it that entire weekend. I wore it for like 4 or 5 days in a row, and this is Givenchy's Irresistible, and this is the EDP. And as you can see, there is also a little dent going on in this one. And this one, I don't know if it's because it's been sitting in my collection and fragrances can change. It's getting super, super, super sweet. Like way sweeter than it was when I first got it. I still like it, but I have to be careful not to overspray this one too much because it can give me a headache and it can get a little bit cloying. I don't know if it's that the fragrance changed or my nose changed, but I do pick up like way more sweetness in this one. I still think it's gorgeous. It was beautiful for Mother's Day. I was smelling myself the entire day. It projected really nice off of my skin. I just don't spray too much anymore because the first day that I wore it, I did a bunch of sprays and that was kind of a mistake. So I'm gonna keep this one down to like 4 sprays, 5 max. But it's really, really nice. It's a classy fragrance. It just smells very put together, classy, romantic type of scent. So I really like this one as well. This next fragrance is a shocker. I never ever expected this one to make it to a favorite. I figured out how to wear it because sometimes I loved it, sometimes I hate it. So I didn't know if to declutter it, so I put it on my tray and I was like, okay, I'm going to get to know this one really good this month and I'm going to make up my mind. And I am talking about Dolce & Gabbana, The Only One Intense. So this fragrance, I put it on, I don't remember, I think it was for dinner. Yeah, I think I was going to dinner with my husband and the girls. And what I did with this one was I sprayed it a little bit lower in my body. So I didn't spray it directly on my neck because that's what kind of bothered me about this fragrance was that it would get a little bit sharp when I had it too close to my neck. So I sprayed it more towards the bottom and then I did like a spray towards the back. This fragrance projected so much. I smelled it the entire time. It lasted hours and hours and it gave off a totally different vibe because I sprayed it lower on my body. So sometimes, I don't know if this happens to any of you guys, but sometimes you can smell a fragrance like really up close and you can pick up notes that bother you or they could be a little sharp. But if you smell it from far away, like if you spray it and you kind of smell like what's lingering and you end up liking that scent, that's been happening to me a lot. So when I smell this one up close, it's not my favorite, but when you spray it a little bit further down the body and just let it kind of come up, I was just enjoying this one so much. I can't wait to wear it again. I kind of picked up a little bit more of the coconut this time that I wore it and I just enjoyed it so much and it was beast mode. Like I was not expecting it to perform this good. You guys know that fragrances don't last on me too long. This lasted all the way until I went to shower that night. So this is staying in my collection. That neroli in here sometimes can be a little bit troublesome, but now that I figured out how to wear it, I enjoy it so much. My last 2 fragrances are from Clean Reserve and it is the ones that I featured in my latest haul, I believe, and it is Solar Bloom and Skin. So here is Skin. So this one is the opposite to what I just said about the Dolce & Gabbana. This one, you can literally bathe yourself in this one because the first time that I bought this fragrance, I only did like 2 or 3 sprays because it was back in 2019, I think. And back then I didn't overspray or anything like that. I would just kind of do like 2 sprays and I was done. And it didn't last at all when I did that. So recently when I wear it, I do a ton of sprays. I do maybe like 10 to 15 sprays. I get my clothes, I get my skin, I get my arms, and the way that this mixes in with your skin, this is like a perfect fragrance to wear during the day, to run errands, just even to the gym. It's just that type of scent. It's so good, and also it smells amazing for bed. So I'm so happy that I gave this one a second chance because I'm obsessed with it. And this one's very hard for me to describe. It has like this sweet scent, but then it also has like a kind of like a leather. It's like the perfect mix of sweet and like musk and skin. Like I get why they call it skin because it just mixes in with your skin. It doesn't smell like a perfume. It just smells very natural. So I really love this one. And then Solar Bloom. I am obsessed with this. This has, I believe it's this one, it has a charcoal note in there. And this one, when I spray it on my hand and I smell it up close, I pick up that note, and I thought to myself, I don't think I'm gonna like this one. I might have to get rid of it. So I wore this one a few times, and again, the vibe that this one gives and like the scent bubble that I had on my skin, this smelled so good. I'm kind of like addicted to it now, so I am going to keep wearing this one as well. This is so amazing. And I totally recommend Clean Reserve fragrances because I've been loving them, especially if you like those type of fragrances that aren't beast mode and you don't want it to be too loud, but you want to smell nice, you want to smell good, and you don't want to smell like a fragrance mist. You want something that's a little bit more sophisticated. I think that these are amazing for that. So those are my fragrance favorites. Now I'm going to get into a little bit of skincare because I did have a situation recently where I tried 2 sunscreens, and the sad part is that I included one of those sunscreens, which was Supergoop. The Supergoop SPF that I have been talking about, I had to stop using it because it is a chemical SPF, and I came to find out that my skin hates that and I have to stick to mineral SPF. So I got rid of that SPF. I also had one from Kula that I was loving so much, and that one had the same exact ingredients, and that one made it even worse. My skin had bumps all over it, like tiny little bumps. It was like a rash, so it wasn't really cystic acne. It was more of like a texture issue. My skin got really dry, it got dehydrated. I would put foundation on and it would just kind of like, it would just look so cakey and dry and textured, and it was horrible. So one of the things that really calmed down my skin when that happened was this Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Gel Mask. I've had this for a while and I always use it when my skin is a little bit irritated or red or anything like that. So I use this one a lot for that because it just totally calms the skin down, it soothes it. And also if you put this in the fridge, and especially for summertime, if you're going to the beach and you get like a sunburn or anything like that, this would be really good to soothe the skin, and it just gives like this hydration and cooling effect. And I just love this mask so much. So that was one of the things that helped to calm down my skin. You guys, this right here is a must if you get cystic acne, if you get pimples, whiteheads. This is Peace Out Acne, and these are the little stickers that you put on your face. So this is a new one. I already went through the other one. It brings 2. I believe it's 20 of them that come in the pack. They look like this. They're just little stickers that look almost invisible. And I put them on at nighttime wherever I have a bump, and guaranteed, if there is anything in that bump, this is going to suck it out pretty much. So when you wake up in the morning, there's going to be like pus. I hate that word, but like it's just gonna be a white little dot there of all the gunk and everything that came out. You pull it out and the bump is so much smaller. It's almost completely flat. I actually have one right here that was driving me nuts for like the past 2-3 days. You try to get rid of it. I was picking at it, which you shouldn't do. And then finally last night, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put one of these little dots and see if it does anything. When I woke up, it took everything out. It is pretty much flat. It's now like a little bit dry because it needs to heal, but I've been using these this month. So I used a whole little sheet of these this month because my skin was kind of not too happy with me. So this was like a lifesaver for me for those types of bumps on my face. So I definitely recommend this one. They're a little bit pricey, but this isn't something that you're going to use every day. It's just when you get a bump, you put it on there, it's going to take care of it. So good. Also, you have to make sure to put them on when your skin is dry. So this is the first thing that I'll put on at nighttime during my skincare routine so that it truly sticks to the skin, and then I'll go in with any toners, moisturizers, anything like that. But this is the first thing that I put if I need it. My next favorite is from Summer Fridays, and this is the Dream Oasis Deep Hydration Serum. So I am pretty much almost done with this one. It's towards the bottom. I have been using this one non-stop since I got it. I think this was one of the things that I picked up from the Sephora sale recently, and this adds so much hydration to the skin. I use this in the morning. I don't use it at night, so it's strictly a morning product for me, but it keeps my face super plump, hydrated, it gives you like this really nice glow to the skin. So I really have been loving this. This next product was recommended by Patty Alonso here on YouTube. She does beauty content. I love watching her. She has dry skin as well, so whenever she recommends something, I know that it's going to be great for my skin, especially if it's foundation reviews. She has recommended things that are very hydrating and they have worked out for me. So recently she was talking about this Paula's Choice retinol and bakuchiol treatment, and this targets lines and wrinkles and reveals firmer looking skin. And she was explaining that this took away all of the texture on her skin and made her texture so much better. In the video, she said that she had the same texture problem like on her cheeks and stuff. So once she said that this helped her out with that, I was all over it. And I will say that this is like my 3rd week using it, and my cheeks are way smoother. I still have a little bit of texture because obviously I had a very bad breakout, but this has helped so much. So I definitely recommend this as well. And then next up, I don't know why this is so dirty, but this is my Pharmacy Green Defense Daily Mineral Sunscreen. This is a sunscreen that I started using after I had the breakout. So this one is a mineral sunscreen. This one has not broken me out. It's really, really good. And also my mom told me to pick this one up. I'm kind of like on a SPF, buying all of the SPFs that I could find because I'm trying to just take care of my skin. So this one is the Tatcha the Silk Sunscreen, and this one also works amazing under makeup. It's not going to mess up your makeup. It's very like runny and liquidy, so once you put it on your skin, it almost feels like you don't have anything on your skin. And my makeup went on flawlessly on top of this. So those 2 sunscreens have been working out a lot for me. I cannot wait to try the Ulta MD one. I just have to go pick it up from my mom's house when I go to Miami. So lately I have been ordering from Jaclyn Cosmetics because I was very curious to see if I was going to like her products, and I ordered a ton of stuff. I ordered the Luxe Legacy collection. I ordered that for my mom for Mother's Day. I got her the palette. I got myself the palette. I got this First Base eyeshadow primer, and I do not know why I don't hear people talking about this. I don't know why I don't hear people talking about the next product I'm gonna talk about, but this eyeshadow primer, it's very thin. It's not going to cover any discoloration or veins or anything like that on your eye, but it's very thin. You apply it and then you do your eyeshadow. When I tell you that my eyeshadow lasts hours, I can literally go more than 8, 9, 10 hours with this eyeshadow primer, and I will not get any creasing on my eyeshadow. My eyeshadow will look exactly how it looked when I first applied it. So this is going to be the primer that I purchase as long as I can get it from her website. It's so good. I strongly recommend this primer. And this next product, I'm kind of like very exaggerated with this, but when you have dry skin, it's very, very hard to find powders that work for your skin, especially for the under eye area, especially after what I went through with my breakout on my skin. My skin was just not having anything to do with powders. It was not having it. But from the Luxe Legacy collection, which is a collection that Jaclyn Hill did with her mother, they came out with these powders that are called Powder Move Loose Setting Powder. And I got it in 2 shades. So I got it in Sheer Fair and I got it in Sheer Light. So here is the packaging for this powder. This is probably the best powder that I have ever tried. And when you're putting it on, it almost looks like you're not putting anything on. Like I'll start blending it and I ask myself like, is there powder on my face? Your face will be set, but you will have this dewy, hydrated look to the skin. There's no shimmers in this powder. So right here is where I have my highlight, so that does have a little bit of shimmer, but I have this powder all over my face and I don't look cakey. My face is set, but I don't look cakey at all. And while you're putting it on, you can see a little bit of like a sheen because it just catches the light so beautiful. I'm very serious about this powder. So I got it in sheer light for all over my face, and then I got it in sheer fair for my under eye area. And just so that you guys know that I'm not playing about this powder, I bought 2 backup powders of this because I don't want to be without this, and I don't know if this is going to be permanent on her website or if it's just for the collection, but it has to be permanent. Like, this powder is so good. So I got 2 of the sheer light because that one works for me even under my eyes. I just like the sheer fair to kind of like brighten a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of the fair underneath my eyes, and from far away it's very hard to see what this powder does, but I just love it. So it just, you can totally see because I could see it on the camera. It brightened my under eye. It doesn't give me any like nasty texture or anything like that, and I'm obsessed with it. So if it's still available, I haven't checked the website recently, but if you can get your hands on this powder and you have dry skin, you're going to love this because you can go to town powdering your face and it's not going to look cakey. And once you're done with your makeup, if you want to mist yourself with a setting spray, that's going to help even more. But I love the way that my face looks. It looks smooth and hydrated and glowy, and you can't tell that I have powder on. So that's my favorite thing about it. Alright guys, so that brings me to the end of my video. This was a super long favorite, but I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me. Comment down below if you have tried any of these products and how they work out for you. I would love to get further reviews in the comment section. That way everyone can read other people's experiences with the fragrances or the products. So that's going to be it from me today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you guys in my next video.